It's nearly 20 years since high-definition television was first shown to the public. Now it's come of age, and people are working with it all over the world in a variety of applications. The format is also now widely used when the issues of quality, cost-effectiveness, and longevity need to be considered. Consequently, it's often the format of choice for everything from movies to pop videos. Let's look in more detail at the 5 essential elements of high-definition television. The first of these is resolution. As its very name suggests, high definition, or HD, contains far more information than any traditional television format. Just by comparing their relative sizes, it's obvious just how much difference there really is. So that we can really understand how HD works, it's also important to understand how television images are put together. Every frame is made up of a number of pixels that define the height and width of an image. These frames are then played back at 25 times per second to give the illusion of movement. This is known as progressive. To increase the illusion still further, each frame is split into 2 fields, which are shown on alternating rows of scan lines, and this is referred to as interlaced. When these fields are played back, the pictures now update at 50 times a second, thereby giving a smoother motion when viewed. Now let's have a look at frame rate. In a cinema, a feature film is run at 24 frames per second. In the same way that television uses fields to improve the look of moving images, film projectors show each frame twice in order to create the same smooth effect. Different frame rates have been adopted by different countries for television transmission. There are 2 principal standards, 25 and 30 frames per second, and this causes an interesting problem when a television station wants to show a feature film. Taking the 24 frames per second original, a movie is just run faster when shown in a 25 frames per second television environment. This 4% speed up in vision and just over a semitone pitch change are not really that noticeable. However, when you increase the frame rate from 24 to 30 frames per second, this speed change becomes a lot more obvious. So a process called 2-3 pull-down has been developed that will make this conversion more transparent. 2-3 pull-down is a simple process that duplicates one frame across 2 fields and the following frame across 3 fields. This means that for every 24 film frames that exist, 60 video fields, or 30 frames, are produced. The process also has the advantage of making the video version effectively run at the same speed as the film master. Earlier on, we compared the size of an HD frame with that of a traditional television picture. Apart from the size, there's also a considerable difference in aspect ratio. 16:9 as opposed to 4:3. But we can take this a stage further and also compare it with a 35mm film frame. A significant percentage of the film frame is taken up with soundtrack. So once this has been taken into consideration, the image data left over is practically the same width as HD. The extra vertical resolution of the film frame can be used in a pan and scan process to make minor reframing adjustments to the original shot. This process is done at the film scanning stage in a telecine suite. This, together with the fact that the film has to be developed before the scanning process can commence, makes it an expensive and time-consuming exercise, and is another reason why HD has become so popular. One of the fundamental differences between video and 35mm film is something known as color space, or contrast ratio. Film has a far greater contrast ratio than that of video, due to the differing properties of optical film and magnetic recording tape. HD falls somewhere between the 2. HD pictures are superb in quality. The images are perfectly clean and free from noise, and the cameras produce rock-steady images, since there's none of the gate weave associated with traditional film cameras. To maximize the profitability of any production, it's important that it can easily be repackaged and sold for viewing in other countries. There are many television standards being transmitted in the world today, with over 18 HD standards in America alone. To make this easier, a concept called universal mastering has been developed. This is an internationally agreed standard in which program content can be created for global distribution. The standard is 1920 pixels wide by 1080 pixels high, running at 24 frames per second. And the great thing about this format is that any of the current standard definition or newer high-definition formats can be achieved in a single conversion process. High definition is more and more becoming the format of choice. It's the bridge between film and video, and the gateway to standards compatibility.